Well, that kind of worked out perfectly, everybody. Because I was about to say, before the video cut off, that I wanted to go off script and extend this, so I guess I'll call this extended part 2. So while I was recording that talking, I realized that after that moment, I told Spirit I didn't want to be upset anymore. I went downstairs and I went to the kitchen and I remember being excited and happy, proud of myself, telling my kids that I don't want to be bothered by it. I don't want to, I want to let it go and trying to be okay. And I can't tell you there was an instant shift. I can't tell you that I felt something crazy or anything. I can't even tell you if and when it started affecting my responses from then forward. But I was reminded of, this was probably back in like August or September of last year. I was losing my apartment, had nowhere to go. The baby and his father had somewhere to go. And at the last moment, I found somewhere for my kids to go. And during this time, this length of time I had to vacate the property, there's people that were close to me, and they felt okay to talk freely about me and to other people, thinking that it wouldn't come back to me, I guess. And the things I was hearing back was, she acts like she doesn't care. She's not doing anything to find a place. She doesn't seem to be bothered by it. She's acting like it's not a big deal. The main one that hurt was I wasn't doing anything towards finding a place. And that hurt because I had 3 kids, And I mean, it only stung a tiny bit because it was the people that was closest to me, the people that were with me in the trenches going through it and saw me every day and saw the things I was doing. And they said that, that's where it stung. But the fact that that's what they thought, okay, I'm aware, I'm able to step outside of myself and look back at me with no filter, I guess you could say, and see myself how the world would see me. Like when I quit my job and I didn't have a job for like a year and wasn't motivated to do anything, like, oh, I lost my train of thought. Whoa. Hang on a second, guys. I apologize. But in all reality, I was doing things to find a place. As soon as we got the letter, I was looking up shelters. As for emergency case, I always start with emergency first, If it's the last possible thing, I want to make sure that is set in stone. So I started with that, and then I started calling places, looking for places, that help families with children in these situations. And I got connected with a company that was a couple towns away, and for a while, they were talking about moving me out of town into one of their houses, and they were going to pay like 8 months of my rent up front, no bills or anything. And that was going straight for 3 weeks, just slowly kept climbing. I had about 2 months to get out. So that whole almost 3 weeks, there was only one person to contact. There was only one set of paperwork to fill out, and it seemed like it was all going to work out. But then that failed. So what I did next, I tried going through and calling different apartment complexes because But because I was there for 5 years and it was considered an eviction, no one was trying to hear me out. So, in the end, everything worked out more beautifully. You know what? I'll actually share that. I'll keep going. So, stepping outside of myself and looking at myself, I can see how they would think that, how they could see that. But in all reality, what was I doing? I wasn't letting the moment take control of me. I wasn't letting my fear and anger and worry and stress affect my daily emotions and my daily even though all that was going on, I was moving through the moments as if it wasn't happening, in a sense. Even though it was, it just I guess you could say I wasn't showing. No, I can't say that because it wasn't bothering me inside. I'm still learning too. I just came to this thought as I was recording, so please bear with me. So, my point is that even though in that moment I was trying to not be bitter, and even though I can't tell you anything crazy happened later, but I can tell you that about a year later, I went through an experience where it could have been potentially extremely stressful. I mean, there's a lot of people that choose a lot of different things in that situation, but I'm proud of the way I handled it. And so, one of my kids' friends, their parents took my 3 kids in. And like I said, the baby was with his dad, safe. And I was homeless again. Believe it or not, I was back sleeping in a storage unit. I was. And about 3 weeks later, my 3 kids, they have the same father. And he's been gone like this whole time, right? For like 11 years. He's been in and out of jail and whatnot. It doesn't matter. But he gets out, gets a hell of a good paying job, hell of a good like social group, and he comes and shows up on the doorstep. And he says, you know, let me help. He says, I'm doing good. I got a job paying like 30 something an hour. He's like, I got 2 vehicles. I live in a huge, nice house with my boss. Let me help you. You know, if anybody deserves this, Jessica, it's you. Let me help you. And I had a newborn baby, and he was with his father, but I couldn't just walk away and leave him, and I couldn't take him with me. Couldn't do that to the dad. So, you know, I stayed behind, and I let my kids go with their father. And I remember when I was going through all this struggling, I cried out to Spirit. I said, Spirit, I don't care what happens. The only thing I ask of you is don't let my kids suffer because of what I'm going through. Please make sure that they're taken care of and they have what they need. Because I found myself putting duct tape on my daughter's crock for like the 3rd time in a row. And I started crying, and I said to Spirit, just make sure my kids are okay. That's all I ask. Just make sure they have what they need, and I don't need nothing. Like, anyways. And so, when I needed it the most, when it mattered the most, not only did Spirit send somebody to take care of them, He sent their father. Spirit sent their father, who they haven't been around in 11 years. I mean, my youngest was only like, never mind. So if you want to talk about a personalized, beautiful gift from Spirit, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so my kids, they're being spoiled right now. They have 10 times more than what they did. And, but yeah, I'm okay now, though, guys. I'm okay now. I'm not in my storage unit anymore. But isn't it funny how I was in a storage unit when all this started? And that'll be another video, too. I have a video about how I noticed there was a whole week where things from my childhood and younger years, like, were popping up and just very vivid, like now I look back and I see it as starting I was on a new cycle. Anyways, so yeah, that's in where I'm at now is amazing. It's like family. But yeah, so the point of this story, let me break it down, is there's a couple things that is hitting me. First of all, not everybody's going to understand what you do. First off, not everybody's going to understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. It's going to look like you're doing nothing. It's going to look like you're not caring. It's going to look like they're going to say you should be more stressed, you should be more worried. Don't let that bother you. I forgot the second one. Okay. Point is, guys, looking back, those few months I was going through, not like the kids being at the friend's house and me being in the unit, there was so much opportunity for me to be stressed and sad and angry and da-da-da. And I could have very easily spent that whole time being that way. But it wouldn't have mattered. Because what was going to happen was what was going to happen. You know, like, I had faith, Spirit had my back. I had faith that it was happening for a reason. And I guess it was so natural and deep that I didn't even see this connection like this until I was just sharing my story. That, you know, in that moment I said that, cried to Spirit and said, I don't want to be angry. Nothing happened instantly. But then I went through something a year later where I was doing it, not even really realizing it. That's beautiful. And that's something I do want to say real quick before I go. I do want to say that I so forgot what I was going to say. Alright, guys. At 13:11 on the clock. Okay. If there's only one thing you take away from this video, just remember, you don't need to search for connection. You're already inside of it. And the experiences are not the destination. The peace is the destination. All right, Jessica out, y'all. 13:44 on the clock.